my mother, my angel. Dear Mom, it's been exactly 1 year since you went back to your Creator because of cancer. I remember still like it was yesterday when the doctor said that you don't have more days left. And when I came and told you about it, I started with saying, you do believe Allah, na Ami? That whatever happens, it happens for a reason. Of course, no one can decide when the time is up, apart from Allah Himself. And you knew what I was about to say. But the thing that I could notice from your face was the sadness of not being able to see your only daughter of age 12 growing up under your love and care. I could sense, although I don't know the awful feeling you might be going through, to not being able to be there for the wedding of your eldest son, which was being arranged during your last week of being in this world. What was going through your mind, Mom, when you were so ill and could not make it to my in-laws because of your health, when we went there to talk about asking them for the hand of their daughter? When we returned to the hospital, you were smiling. But later on, you bursted into tears, saying that this was the day I was waiting for since you were born. That's what every mother dreams of. The day when she is to bring home a bride for her sons. And so lucky am I that I could not even sit straight on this one. But the thing that I was content with was that you were told by the others that the girl is lovely and reminded them of you. That made you smile. And you said with pride, I knew my daughter would be nice because I never did injustice to anyone. I will show everyone how to treat a daughter-in-law. That was the comfort you gave to yourself, and I was backing it up by saying, of course, a lovely mother-in-law will never get a bad daughter-in-law. The days passed, and you said you dreamt that you had a week left, somehow, and you had tears rolling down your cheeks. I said, come on, Mom. That doesn't happen such. You can't know when you are to pass away. You are to stay with me and be with Dad and all of us and see the youngest daughter wed as well and play with your great-grandchildren. But somehow you didn't find that comforting and smiled, as if you're saying, who are you fooling, my son? I went to every mosque and had them pray for you, asking them to ask Allah Subhanahu wa ta'ala, if your time has come, just make it easy on you. Just be gentle with my mom. And when I ran all over to gather Zamzam, the holy water, I told you to drink this from now and not the regular water. And you were so innocent. When I used to come to the hospital, you were like, I told your aunt that if there is anyone who can make me eat something for the sake of my health, it's you. You always force me to eat, saying if you don't eat, you can't fight it. Then you laughed, and deep inside I cried. Because I didn't want to notice your health deteriorating. All I was seeing was a mother who gave me life. A mother who held me in her arms when I used to be ill. A mother who once admitted me into school when I was 8 and I ran out of school and followed her all through the city back home. And I could clearly hear you saying to grandmother, I hope he's okay. I hope he's eaten. May Allah grant you with paradise, my dear mother. You deserve nothing less than that. When I used to feed you in your last few days, the thought of you doing the same to me when I was young broke me into pieces. I remember the day when we were back home in Pakistan on the rooftop at our place, and I was around 6. And all of a sudden, I had a seizure due to high fever. And you were frightened to death and held me in your arms and covered me. I still remember the cry and your words comforting me, saying, it's okay, I'm here. It's okay, I'm here. I was saying the same to you when you were teary, Mom. I was there. I was in the mosque and I got a call from Dad saying, hurry up, Mom is not well. I took the train and was there in a few minutes. My heart was pounding and I wanted to hold back my tears in the train. But somehow, without realizing the world around me, it kept on rolling down my cheeks. I couldn't wait to reach the hospital. And when I did, I saw dozens of family friends in the room, and the ladies were all sad and crying. You, on the other hand, were in some kind of a coma. Although you were making signs with your hand, and I knew what you were saying. You wanted to be covered since there were so many others. That's my mother. On her last few breaths, but fearful of Allah. I had them cover you and was furious. Made them all get out of the room and kept on saying, why? Why are you all doing this? Why? She's awake and she's well. Why are you all here and talking so loud, saying she's no more? How can you be so rude? They all went out but returned when Dad let them in again. I called the nurse to get the ambulance over, but she wouldn't hear, saying it's nothing they can do. I kept on knocking on her door again and again and forced her to call the ambulance as soon as possible, and said if something happens to my mother because of her not doing her job, it will not end up good for their sake. She called the ambulance and 3 ladies came and picked up and transported you into the ambulance onto the bigger hospital. I sat in front and told the driver lady that this is not my mother. She's my world. She's my universe. Please drive fast. I can't lose her. I'm going to get married next month. I can't do anything without her. The 2 nurses sitting on the back of the ambulance had their heads tilted inwards. And they also were teary, saying, don't worry, she'll be okay. You were at the hospital and you were put into a room. Dad and Aunt were there as well. I came back for a while with the brothers. And then I got a call from the hospital around 3 in the morning that she's not well. I woke up a brother and drove as fast as I could to the hospital. With a strange thought in my mind, I still had hope. When I came there, I saw you still in the same state, totally not knowing where you were, and eyes tilted elsewhere. And you kept on saying something with your lips. The tongue was a bit hard due to the mouth being open, and I sensed it, and I asked the nurse if I could give you water. She goes, yes, you may. She gave me cotton buds, and I made them a bit wet and put them in your mouth to moisten your tongue and lips. You bit on the cotton bud and wouldn't let go. I was scared that it will go into your throat and stop your breath. I held it back, and you let it go. Then again, I wet the cotton bud and wet your lips because they were so dry. In a sense, you gulped a little as if you were waiting for some water. The thought that went through my mind in those few minutes was that here lies my mother, the one who gave me birth, the one who went through so much pain in bringing 5 children in this world, had a life that was full of tests of all types, and here I am giving her the last few drops of water. Am I doing something to repay her love and care? No, I can't. I never could. The nurse said that we would have to remove the machines that are connected to her since she would not need them. I broke down and said, you can't do that. And she said the blood flow in her body will automatically relieve the rest of the body and only allow the brain and heart to function for a while before. And she stopped because I said, I don't want to hear it. She took them off and I held her hand and felt it. The nails were a little blue, but my hope was still young and positive. I started crying, wondering, these are the hands that held my hand when I fell down millions of times. These are the hands that have no feeling left. I kept on rubbing them and asked my little brother to hold the other hand and had my aunt rub her feet. Innocent thought struck my mind that maybe if you rub your feet and hands, the blood will flow back. But then again, does a mind work properly when your whole universe is disappearing right in front of you? I kept looking at you and my brother was watching your beautiful face and crying. Then unknowingly I was seeing your breath having a longer pause between the last. I kept on praying and rubbing your hands and kept on saying next to your ear, I'm here. I'm here. I sensed a little twitch on your eyebrow as if you said, I know, my son. I know you're here. Then after a few seconds, my little brother says, Mommy's not breathing. Mommy's not breathing. And he started crying. I knew that very second that life from now onwards will not be the same, because no one will ever pray for my safety and my health like you did. Now if Allah puts me in pain or hurdles, no one has the pain in her heart like you would have. Mom, you were my angel and always will be, my best friend. May Allah grant you the most beautiful place in heaven. Until we meet again, your son.